Peace and love, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the channel. I hope you had a great day. And we are going to get started with our astrological forecast. But before we do that, I definitely want to welcome all those who will be viewing this and new to the channel. This is a channel where we cover astrological, metaphysical, and historical principles to help you on your path to enlightenment. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. Happy solar return to all my Aries for Aries season. And we're going to go ahead and look at the forecast for this coming week. All right, and as you can see, we have a good one. And as I said in the title, if you're here, this full moon in Libra is evidence that you are meant to fight and win this battle. And we have here today, Monday. Today was more of a competitive day. We have a gibbous moon phase, so we have the competition brewing in the background, and we have Mercury entering into Taurus. Peace and love, Sandy Burwell. Good to see you. We have Mercury entering into Taurus, and while it's entering into Taurus, we have that Mercury in Taurus squaring off with Pluto and Aquarius, and this is where people begin to think about sharing what's important to themselves and how their value and what they bring as far as value can actually help them climb the ladder of power. So this is what actually is the theme for today. We have the moon in Virgo making a trine to Uranus and Taurus, and this is what you want to focus on because this can be a distraction period. So you want to definitely stay focused during this time. You want to make sure that you stick to a strict budget and focus on serving others as well as yourself. So don't focus on things that are out of your control because that will actually bring anxiety. And then you don't want to overextend yourself when you're on the job, okay, because this will actually lead to frustration. So, and you also don't want to forget to take breaks physically and mentally during this time. Peace and love, JL. Good to see you. That's right. Islam, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice are our national principles. Good to see you. And as you can see here, tonight, you definitely want to make sure you cover that budget. Go ahead, sit down, write out a plan for the rest of the week. Or if you already done so, that's great. But go ahead and make sure that you uh, create a budget. Okay. So tomorrow, Tuesday, we're looking at another competitive day, but this is a little bit different. This is like the get even day. So this could be you or your coworker where you guys are competing for the best idea to be seen by the manager, supervisor, or the boss to get ahead. And this is where either one of you might have lost this so-called battle, but this is where you're definitely looking to get even. And we have here the moon in Virgo opposite Neptune in Pisces. So what we have here with this connection is a water and earth opposition. We also have the challenge of when serving others becomes a burden, and when doing for others don't match your expectations in return. So you don't necessarily feel the return on the investment, but you're doing it as a chore almost. So this is when you have this moon in Virgo opposite Neptune and Pisces. This is when being too giving and compassionate actually drains you mentally and emotionally. So you want to look out for that tomorrow and Tuesday. And then you have the moon will enter into Libra shortly after that. And this will help you balance your perspectives. This is also where you have the moon in Libra that will make a trine to Pluto in Aquarius. So you get this blend of air energy with Libra and Aquarius. And so you want to make sure that you do some spring cleaning tomorrow. This is the season for it. And get things fixed around the house. Okay. Get your conveyance fixed if need be. You can get a physical or mental checkup. Those are very important. And you want to make sure that you find opportunities to pause and reset throughout the day. And if you're going to exercise or do anything, definitely make sure that you get some breath work in, some yoga, Pilates for the physical movement. And if you want to start a new routine or habit, new eating patterns or regimen, this is a good time to do it as well. So don't beat yourself up if you don't accomplish everything that's on your to-do list. And you definitely don't want to worry yourself into a cold or sickness. Some people can think, somebody can hear somebody cough, and the next thing you know, you're sick. And it had nothing to do with you physical spreading of disease. It's all mental. So don't worry yourself into that. Don't even get into that mindset on Tuesday. And as you can see here on Wednesday, this is a very good day, a constructive day. We have uh, the Passover begins at sundown on Wednesday, and then things are clearer than before because now you have Mercury actually moving into Taurus. Is entered into Taurus, so now you can think more practical, and things can come to fruition easier. Okay, so your difficulties can feel like it's a life crisis, but at the same time, at least now you have the mental stamina to deal with the situation. And this is also a good time to socialize and tackle heavy problems. Okay, you have a lot of mental power at this time, so you can tackle a lot of those things that are confronting you. You have the moon in Libra that will square Mars in Cancer, so this is cardinal energy fighting off. And you also will have on the same day Mercury and Taurus making a sextile to Saturn and Neptune. I'm sorry, Saturn and Pisces. You have the Sun will conjunct Chiron and Aries. The Moon will oppose Chiron and Aries, and the Sun in Aries. So you have a lot of things going on Wednesday, but all of this energy favors teamwork. It favors harmony. Uh, it also favors comprehending where others are coming from because you're looking at things from different perspectives, and then also this is where the competition begins to die down, so everybody can start to see things from a team perspective and make the best choices for the team and for the whole. So this is a good time where people will start to see other people as teammates. So you don't want to hold back what's on your heart, but you definitely want to be tactful on Wednesday. And of course, you don't want to think of every scenario in history to the point that you don't make a decision on moving forward. Okay, I know with this energy in Libra, you can have a tendency to do that, to run through every scenario, and you definitely don't want to do that. You want to make a decision and move forward. So Thursday, this is where we have the full moon, and this is the full moon in Libra. This is actually where we have the moon in Libra opposite the sun in Aries, and also Chiron in Aries. And then later on, the moon in Libra will actually oppose Jupiter in Aries. So there's a lot of energy, a lot of fire in Aries right now, a lot of energy going on. And then you have this opposition there. So with this moon in Libra, okay, and the sun in Aries reminds us that you have the power to overcome any obstacle that's in your way right now. So it also reminds us that you're the greatest asset that you have. A lot of times you like to look to others or rely on other people or other things, but this is a great reminder at this time to remember that you're all you need. Okay, so 180 degrees away from this sun is the moon in Libra, and the moon in Libra, even though uh, you have to remember your life's purpose and mission, this full moon in Libra reminds you that it's important for you to connect with your life's mission, but also remember that other people are going to be going through the same thing as well. And at this time, in order to maintain your inner strength, you need to uh, actually be still and meditate at this time as well. This is also where you want to make sure that you're using your energy wisely and be patient so that you can use your energy the most effective way as possible. And Aries season is all about the battles, the struggles to survive and to grow. And this can be a time where the full moon in Libra is reminding you to be calm in the midst of your battles, because that's one of Aries' downside. Okay, is those triggers. So the Aries season reminds us that we're here for a reason, but the full moon reminds us that so are others. Okay, so don't forget that. And the mission becomes easier or more challenging based on who you allow to share the power, space, and energy with. So you got to be careful of who you're allowing around you at this time, because this can make the fight uh, harder or easier. Okay, and then you also have this full moon in Libra that will actually remind you to negotiate and pick your battles wisely. Not uh, every time somebody open their mouth, it's an opportunity to let them have it. Not every time somebody do something is an opportunity to go off, because you got to choose your battles wisely. Okay, And this full moon in Libra also highlights some key things when it deals with the lower self. Okay, number one, it deals with your indecision to make choices and decisions to move forward. So on Thursday, this is a relaxing day, but you'll also be dealing with the highlights of all of these things with the full moon in Libra. So it's going to highlight again your indecision and scenarios or situations where you become passive aggressive. Okay, because not all choices are equal, and sometimes Libra, when the moon is in Libra or Libras in general, can get in a situation where they think of all choices because they see everybody is connected as one in all situations. They look at things as beautiful and harmonious, but sometimes you got to realize that not all choices are equal, and that sometimes your indecision can lead to anxiety, and then anxiety will lead to that imbalance. And Libra is all about balancing the scales, creating harmony, and it goes back to the principle of Ma'at. So sometimes when you're imbalance, or you're not in harmony, this can lead to you being manipulative and trying to control the outcomes without stating your desires and your needs, because the moon deals with your needs. So you can become very manipulative, very tricky and controlling, and this can make others around you want to avoid you. And this is where that passive aggressive energy come in, where you want to avoid people, you procrastinate or even start drama because you're afraid to speak up. You won't tell the person what they did directly. You will start going to others, build up a whole case about this person, which in actuality you start to build up this type of case, and say that this is the way this person is, when really it's so small what they've done, but you won't even address it. This is the type of energy that is happening during this phase. So that passive aggressive energy will actually spiral, and you will be in a fight that you are exerting too much energy towards, and you're missing the big purpose of this season and what you came here to do. So you have the sun in Aries is going to highlight how impatient you can be. Uh, is going to highlight your short temper when it comes to certain people and your triggers. Okay, how aggressive you can become when somebody do something that you perceive, this made me do this, or they made me do that. No one can make you do anything. These are just highlighting your triggers. Okay, and so this also highlights how you give away your power to other people. When you say they made me do this, or uh, I did this because they did this. You're giving away your power when you have that mindset. So when the sun is conjunct Chiron, this is where you get that help. Chiron is the wounded healer. And when the sun conjuncts Chiron, this lets us all know that you have the ability to transform and heal from your painful experiences in the past, but you also have the opportunity to gain wisdom from those painful experiences. And Chiron is the teacher, and Aries, well, when you learn these lessons, you'll become the coach. So this Sun conjunct Chiron will actually teach you how to confront, accept, and grow from your past. So you won't just be getting one; you'll be getting three things in one with this lesson from the Sun conjunct Chiron. And this conjunction also reminds you that our personal work affects our relationships, meaning that the work that you put in actually will impact your relationships. And that's what Aries is about: self. Libra is about relationships that you build. And so when you put in that necessary work, this is then what will impact those relationships around you. And then you throw in the mix. So you have the sun in Aries, Chiron in Aries. Now you got Jupiter in Aries. And Jupiter in Aries is there to help you expand past your past fears and failures. Okay. So this is like an extra battery pack or energy boost. Jupiter is full of fire, and you get that extra fire that you need to put towards these battles that you choose wisely. Now, Aries is the head, so you have to be wise and think about where you're going to exert the most energy to get the most results, the best results. So when you look at Jupiter and Aries, you want to look at how your relationships may be limiting your expansion and your growth. All right. Peace and love, Willie Rivers. Good to see you. You want to look at how certain relationships that you choose to continue to be in are limiting your expansion. Jupiter is all about expansion. Sometimes you can be in relationships that limit your thought process. Just being around other people, they can limit the way that you think because you begin to think like them. You guys' mind begin to merge, and this is called groupthink. So you want to be careful of who you are sharing your thoughts with because they can be actually taking you down to their level or vice versa. So with this Jupiter and Aries, think about how the thoughts that you share with others also impact them and bring them down. So you got Jupiter and Aries, and Jupiter and Aries also brings to mind the questions: do you have quote unquote friends that always agree with you and never call you out on your BS? Okay, because if you do, they're not really friends. They're not there to help you grow. And this is what this full moon is highlighting. It's calling to question: are you in the place that you need to be? And also calling the question of how you've been fighting. Okay, do you have so-called friends that's actually always agreeing with you? Anytime that you tell them something, they automatically agree. They never question what did you do. Okay, that's a sign. That's a red flag. Are you, you know, in a situation where you're dealing with a person or a so-called friend that's constantly gossiping, and then you guys are supposed to be working on something, but every time you talk to them on the phone, you get around them in person. Next thing you know, you end up gossiping. Y'all don't get nothing done. Okay, and this is what this full moon is highlighting: those type of relationships that you're holding on to that's stagnating you from your growth. And then you realize that every time you're around this person, the only thing that you have in common is that y'all gossip about people, or you guys only ask each other for favors. Okay, that's not true friendship. Okay, you guys don't have anything more than just that. This is what this full moon is highlighting. So, and then you got to ask yourself: do the so-called friend only support you to get credit, or to gain something in return? So Libra is all about those relationships that you're building. Aries is about the self. And sometimes we have a tendency to be selfish, and we don't think about others. But ask yourself, do you have these type of friends? So if so, you need to consider fixing this now. Okay. And so this Aries season also reminds us that you're here for a reason, but again, this is a time where you got to also focus on why you came here. Peace and love, TB. Now, your mission again becomes easier when you choose the right people and have the right people around you. All right. So on Friday, you want to make sure that I went all in on Thursday, the full moon, but you on Friday, this is where they marked it as a holiday, Good Friday. Okay. Now a lot of Christians don't even know they carry the symbol of the fish. They carry they have it on their suits, their jackets. They put it on their conveyances, the back of their conveyances when you're traveling, and you see this fish. Um, and a lot of people eat fish on Friday, on Good Friday, quote unquote, and they don't really know the meaning. Okay, and they try to say that it's related to the crucifixion of Jesus, and it's when they assume that this is why the fish is in place for that. But very few people will have been able to afford the fish during this time, and so they was already refraining from fish constantly anyway. And it was more likely that during this time the fish was a symbol of the so-called Jesus. Okay, now the so-called Jesus, and I say so-called because there's so much we can say about that, is associated with the fish, okay, the Pisces, okay, and the reason why Friday was chosen is because this is the day of Venus, and Venus is exalted in Pisces, the fish. Okay, so this is where they say this is where the whole concept of Good Friday come from. And on Friday, it is going to be a good day. Ironically, it's going to be an exuberant day. This is where it's going to be full of uh, creativity. It's going to be full of you know fun, social interaction, and the moon will be moved to Scorpio. So this is a great time for research, teamwork, and being out in nature. So Friday is going to be a good day. You got the moon in Scorpio. It's going to be squaring Pluto and Aquarius, trining Saturn and Pisces, and then it's also going to be making an opposition to Mercury and Taurus. Then you'll have Venus in Taurus, which rules the day, making a sextile to Neptune and Pisces. So later on, you're going to have the moon in Scorpio making a trine to Mars and Cancer. There's that connection again, that cardinal connection. And then you're also going to have the Mercury and Taurus making a sextile to Mars in Cancer. So there's a lot of things that's going on, and this transit favors all of these things. So you don't want to be stuck at a cubicle on this day, or at a desk or at an office, and you don't want to be sitting all day. You want to get out and enjoy this time. TB says full moons F me up. I get weird and hyper about a week before it's full. That's right. Yeah, because full moons, a lot of things happen on full moons, kidnappings, you know, people go crazy. This is where the concept of lunatic come from. So a lot of things happen during the full moons. It's where the most people, or a lot of surgeries happen during this time. So yeah, full moons are it's very special because a lot of things happen. All right, so on Saturday, this is where you begin to get into the networking. And I left this quote here: networking is not about collecting contacts, it's about planting relationships. And so during this moon phase, you want to share your thoughts with other people who are on the same wavelength, and those people who actually share the same ideas that can help you both propel yourselves forward. This is also a time where you can revisit old projects because you have the moon in Scorpio trining Neptune and Pisces. So this is a water trine. It favors ventures, joint ventures. And so you want to make sure you be aware of people telling you secrets. Neptune and Pisces dealing with secrets. And again, with the moon in Scorpio, you can create a great budget. Okay. Um, Now, I don't know if you're going to stick to it, but you could create a great budget. And this is where you could get in depth research done, okay, on Saturday. And then after that, you can enjoy the rest of your evening on Saturday. All right. TB says, I used to do Alzheimer's care, and patients would become fully lucid during full moons. That's right. They've done studies to actually show that as well. And if the moon is in your birth sign, I've read it will affect you. That's right. Definitely will. So if you have a Libra full moon or a full moon phase during this time, this definitely will be highlighted in your chart as well, your personal chart. Yep. So, and then we'll get to Easter Sunday on Sunday. But you guys, this is what you can expect to look forward to for this week. And then you have a lot of things to be done for this individual fight, as you also are considering others. So, TB says, I don't know much about astrology or numerology. Yeah, and they remember everything. CNA did to them too. Peace and love, future hoops. Yep, so you guys, I don't celebrate any holidays or birthdays. Well, that's a start. That's definitely a start. So you guys, you can see on Saturday, this is going to be a great day for networking. Um, you definitely want to make sure that you build a relationship and not just try to get somebody information to exchange, because those relationships will go last longer. Um, so that's the key here. Now, Sunday again, yeah, Sunday. We're going to get to Sunday on Sunday. This Easter, Astarte. All right. And you guys, I hope you was able to take something away from this. Remember, this is about the individual, which is you. And so you have this great fight, great battle that you're going to be dealing with this week, especially capping off on Wednesday, where you'll be dealing with these lower self energies that you have to confront. Okay, this impatient, short temper, aggressiveness, and these triggers, and this indecisive and passive aggressive behaviors. All right, so I hope this was able to help you all out. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will be going live again with more updates of what happened and what is happening around the world. So you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace and much love. Hail and Hotep.